The Ebola scare going on across the country, to some extent here in Connecticut as well this past week, to say the least, has a lot of people talking. President Obama is meeting this weekend with some of his top aides to talk about how the country is responding. And a lot of people are talking about how the president is responding. Joining me now is John Pavia from Quinnipiac University to talk about what actions the president can and should take with a crisis like this. John, thank you for joining us. First of all, what is the template for this? A health scare looming. What does the Constitution, what does the American way call for the president to do in a case like this?
Well, it's sort of interesting because Article 1 of the Constitution goes through what the role of Congress is, and it's very detailed. Article 2 is all about the president, and it's very vague. So the president has the responsibility to protect and defend, and under the Constitution, out of the two, Congress or the president, he's the one with the ability to act quickly. So clearly, when you say who should act, it's the president. What he should do is a separate question.
There's a lot of criticism going on about the way he's handled this, a lot of it politically based,
sure.
As we approach an election. In your viewpoint, and I'm not asking you to take a political side here, but is he doing enough? Is he doing the right things? And does he have really a pattern from the past that he could follow here?
So that's a great question. Everybody's talking about it these days. It starts with this. He has no frame of reference. So to be fair to the man, Barack Obama, he can't draw back on, well, this is what Roosevelt did. This is what Lincoln did. There's no real comparable situation where such an acute disease is potentially a threat to the United States. So he doesn't have a template. What he does have, though, is he has something called Scenario 3, Scenario 4. And these are scenarios that are maintained by Homeland Security, and they think up different scenarios like a biological outbreak. So he does have a little bit of a template, but still right now you have people on both sides of him saying you should have a travel ban, you shouldn't have a travel ban. Right. So he's he's making up as he goes along, so to speak.
Well, he is, and some people would definitely acknowledge in a bipartisan way there have been some flubs, and basically the CDC has admitted to that. Has he hurt himself with the way this has gone in the past few weeks?
I'm sure with some, right? But if you listen to the congressional hearings this week, there were voices on both sides saying he was doing the right thing and others saying he was doing the wrong thing. I think what is interesting is, are we going to see some kind of travel restriction? Because right now an all-out ban seems to be what his experts are advising against. But some kind of travel restriction, let's say a quarantine of people who want to come from Liberia or an infected area that want to come to the United States, keeping them in quarantine there for 10, 14, 21 days before they travel here.
I have a feeling that's easier said than done.
It may be, it probably is.
How much is it up to a president using the bully pulpit to not only address issues like this, but at the same time to avoid creating a sense of panic? People bring up the issue that one person has died from Ebola in the U.S. Every year in the U.S., 17,000 people die from the flu. So how much does he have to think about not making matters worse by creating panic?
Yeah, and I think that's the countervailing forces going on here, protecting the American people and not causing a panic. And that is his job. That's really not Congress's job. And Congress doesn't have the ability to do that because they have to debate everything. It takes a year to legislate anything. So right now he is trying to maintain that fine line of not causing a panic. And once you put a travel ban in place, people are going to panic. So that's the job right now, and that's almost by definition, the role of the president.
Well, he appointed a so-called Ebola czar last week, not a medical professional, a bureaucrat, a former chief of staff for the vice president. How do you see that move?
It's all going to come out in how different is our response to Ebola over the next few weeks. The criticism that I've heard most and that I even thought of was he has no medical background, he has no background in the sciences. He's a business guy, very well respected, did great while he was in
He's an administrator, basically.
He is. Yeah. And so, is that what's really needed? I don't know. There's a Surgeon General whose appointment has been held up. So I don't know that that's the right answer. I probably would have picked someone who had some kind of bioscience background, but that wasn't my call.
Well, I'm sure they'll be on the team,
sure,
in some way, shape, or form. Finally, let's go into the crystal ball here. What do you think we're going to be seeing in the next week to 2 weeks in response?
It depends if we have any more people infected in the country. And if we have another person who pops up that was infected, or 2 or 3, hopefully we don't. But if we do, I think the pressure will build on the president to put some kind of restriction on travel to the infected areas, to and from those areas. If we don't, I think you probably see the issue calm down a little bit, and we keep going as we're going right now.
That would be nice. John Pavia, adjunct professor of law at Quinnipiac University. Thank you so much, John, for coming
Thanks for
by.
having me.
Extremely interesting topic, extremely relevant right at this moment. So we appreciate you visiting here.